FN Lighthouse, the evening's red turned to a gale the color of ink with waves as tall as several houses stacked on end. The nor'easter had come out of nowhere and now I was adrift without power, far too many miles underway to see the Rockland light. The last thing I remember was a green flash that illuminated the cabin for just a second before the frigid ocean crashed through the windows and I was pulled out to sea. Impossibly I woke face down in the surf, my skin raw and lungs burning as water left my mouth. It was morning I suppose and the sun was just below the eastern horizon beneath the water's edge. "Are you all right?" An angel's voice called to me, her face silhouetted from the rising sun. I didn't know the answer but figured dead was not the case. She helped me to my feet and we staggered up the rugged pathway to the outcrop which overlooked the stony beach. When we got to the summit a grand lighthouse like none had ever seen reached into the sky, a twist of black on white with a crystal light that still shined against the twilight of morn. Her cottage beside the light was made of stone from the nearby cliffs, chunks of shale slathered together with mortar from the mainland. Smoke billowed from the tapered chimney and a hint of burning wood lay in the air. When we stumbled inside she guided me to a squat leather chair beside a Franklin stove stoked to the gills and the heat from it warmed me to my bones. She lay a blanket over me and I drifted off to my dreams. I woke up again on the deck of the Coast Guard chopper as it touched down on an airfield outside of Rockland. The crewman was startled when I leapt up, his face as if he'd seen a ghost. "Where is she?" I asked with haste. "Who?" he yelled back over the roar of the blades. "The lighthouse keeper, where is she?" I never got to thank her. He was silent as we taxied in, unable or unwilling to answer. Finally he managed to explain, "Sir, there is no lighthouse anywhere near where your vessel went down. The Rockland Light was dismantled years ago, got too damaged in a storm. They replaced it with GPS navigation beacons." The rest of his words blended with the chaos and noise which swirled around me, lost as she was to the storm. I learned later the crewman was telling the truth. 20 years before a hurricane had destroyed the lighthouse. Sadly the keeper had stayed behind to make sure wayward sailor made it home but she was never seen or heard from again. To this day, every time I leave port I slow at the jagged island far beyond the bay. I cannot see her but I feel she is there watching as I slowly chug away. Maybe someday we will meet again but perhaps not for another life.